Welcome back to another episode of Tech Brood, your go-to podcast for home and business technology, products, training, tips, and more. I'm your host, Greg Doig, dedicated to keeping you informed about all things technology, from the latest AI advancements to software innovation and beyond. Whether it's discussing the newest trends or diving deep into critical issues like data security, Tech Brood is your essential source for tech insight. So let's get into today's brew. I posted an article on my website this week at gregdoig.com about the new AI features in Framer. Framer AI is a web-based platform that lets you create stunning websites without writing code. Framer AI uses artificial intelligence to analyze your content and design preferences and then generate a website that matches your vision. You can also use Framer AI to optimize your website for performance, accessibility, and SEO, or search engine optimization. Framer AI is an excellent tool for anyone who wants to build a website for the first time. It is easy to use, powerful, and intelligent. You can create a website in minutes without any coding or design skills. You can also learn from Framer AI's suggestions and feedback and improve your web design knowledge. Whether you want to create a personal portfolio, a business landing page, a blog, or an online store, Framer AI can help you achieve your goals. Next story up for this week is an article from windowscentral.com by Kevin Okemwa. He writes that Microsoft is testing a new feature in its video conferencing platform, Teams. The feature is called Animated Backgrounds, and it's designed to refresh and revamp the meeting experience in Teams with modern and new backgrounds. The feature is currently rolling out to Teams public preview users. It will create a more immersive virtual environment, says Kevin, compared to the conventional backgrounds currently common in video apps. To access the feature, you'll need to select Effects and Avatars, then select Video Effects, and choose any of the predefined animated backgrounds in the pre-join screen before hopping into the meeting. Users can add an animated background while on an ongoing Teams meeting by clicking More, then Effects and Avatars, and then select the background. Microsoft only supports predefined animated backgrounds in Teams meetings. Microsoft has also listed a couple of known limitations that the feature ships with. Animated backgrounds are not available on low-end devices and require at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. CPU with 4 logical processors is also required. Again, only predefined backgrounds from Microsoft are currently supported. Using video filters may slow down background animation if your machine has high workload or limited RAM. And our next article comes from appleinsider.com, written by Chip Loader. The article says that artificial intelligence is taking the world by storm and chatbots are growing in popularity. Chatbots are AI-based apps that users can converse with as domain experts. They have seemingly expert knowledge on various generic and specialized subjects. They are being deployed everywhere at a rapid pace. You can run a local chatbot in Mac OS with MLC, which is from the Machine Learning Compilation Project, which is a brainchild of Apache Foundation deep learning researchers. You do not need a server to run MLC, but there are specific hardware requirements. There is a downside to some AI apps you should be aware of. Results must still be verified. While usually mostly correct, AI can provide erroneous or deceptive data, leading to false conclusions or results. LLMs are essentially natural language processing programs that use vast sets of data and neural networks to generate text. LLMs, or large language models, work by training AI code on large data models, which then learn from them over time, essentially becoming domain experts in a particular field based on the accuracy of the input data. The more accurate the input data, the more precise and correct the chatbot that uses the model will be. MLC is run from a command line interface in the Terminal app on a Mac. You'll need to install a few prerequisites first to use it. For NVIDIA GPU users, the MLC instructions specifically state that you must manually install the Vulcan driver as the default driver. Another graphics library for NVIDIA GPUs, CUDA, won't work. There is a new feature in Google Meet called Companion Mode Check-in. This feature allows participants joining a virtual meeting from a conference room to be identified by their name rather than as individuals. If you're joining a meeting from a conference room, you can use companion mode on your personal device to check into that specific room. Room check-in allows everyone on the call to easily identify who is in the conference room rather than simply seeing the conference room name. Checked-in participants will appear under the conference room and will be grouped under the conference room in the people panel. Room check-in will be available by default, but admins can turn this feature off for specific Meet hardware devices or specific users. To use companion mode in Google Meet, you can follow these steps. Connect to a meeting by clicking on the meeting link or entering the URL and selecting a scheduled meeting or entering a meeting code. Then you click on the Use Companion Mode option under Other Joining Options when prompted, and participants in the meeting will be able to see who entered the session in companion mode. Let's wrap things up with a quick tip for Apple Watch users and some security updates from Apple. If you're an Apple Watch user, you can quickly silence incoming calls and notifications by covering the watch face with your palm for 3 seconds. This feature is called Cover to Mute, and it's a great way to discreetly silence your watch without having to fumble with the controls. And some security news updates from June 23rd this past week. Apple released security updates to address vulnerabilities in multiple products. An attacker could exploit some of these vulnerabilities to take control of an effective device. The operating systems involved are watchOS 8.8.1, macOS Big Sur 11.7.8, macOS Monterey 12.6.7, iOS 15.7.7, and iPadOS 15.7.7, watchOS 9.5.2, macOS Ventura 13.4.1, and iOS 16.5.1, and iPadOS 16.5.1. And as always, keep all your operating systems on your devices up to date. And that wraps up this edition of Tech Brood. I'm Greg Doig, your guide to creative technology and more. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, you can catch our episodes here on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more platforms. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any updates. And if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to share them on our various platforms or post them in the comments here. And until next time, keep getting your tech brewed just the way you like.